Luffy Luffy Luffy.
Hello, chat. Hello, chat. Give me 1 second. I have to update this thumbnail. Nate, wow. Thank you. 27 months, brother. Wilder, hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the 613 Patrons Picks episode. Hope everyone's doing really well. It's good to see all of you guys chatting in the chat. I just need to update one thing, and I have a surprise. Although Luna's not here right now, but I have a surprise for you. Hold on 1 second as I figure this out. I gotta show you this. Bear with me. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Boy, what a week. What a week. Hold on. What a week. What? What is that? Hold on. Almost ready. Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. I have a surprise for you. But I need to see how to do this. Video capture device. Let's see, does this work? Hold on now. Hold on now. Is it Luna Cam? It could be. It could be. How the fuck? The only problem is I don't know how to set this up. I didn't do this beforehand because apparently I don't like to be professional. And I'm going to open more. UVC. What the fuck is UVC mode? I did this yesterday. Oh, here it is. UVC. Hey, Penguin, how are you? I'm good. I'm very tired. UVC. UVC mode. We're going to edit. Where's the editing options? Hello? UVC. But anyway, I got a little tiny camera so that when Luna's in here, she can also chill on stream. But I just need to make sure I get this set up really fast. I mean, she's not here, so it doesn't matter, but I figured I could show you. Okay. Exactly, dog cam. I felt that everyone would be really happy about that. No, I won't be, Zulu. Or not right now, anyway. I don't have any intention to at this current moment. The copyright situation with Toby's music is very confusing, and despite what he says, it doesn't actually make much sense because he doesn't own, like, Materia Collective owns his copyright, so. Ah, merci. Merci, Sana. Je suis tellement content que tu faisais, que tu avais apprécié mon playthrough. Merci. Merci à tous les Français. Yes, unfortunately, with the way things work with... So Toby says... Okay, here's a prime example. Toby says that there's no copyright issues. But here's the problem. We go over to my previous Deltarune. Deltarune. Right now, I am sharing ad revenue. So that he says that it's going to open up, you know, that it'll be available for, you know, they'll release the claim. But I think what they're going to do is they just go and share rev through Materia Music Publishing, which is well within their right to do because they own the copyright. So, you know, now you won't get claimed, but it's still a claim. I mean, you won't get struck, but you still get claimed. So it's a little bit of a pickle because on the one hand, I know that a lot of folks want to listen to Deltarune with me, and I more than definitely want to listen to it. But it becomes like, with the time that I have, do I be shrewd about it, right? Or, you know, or what? It really sucks. It's very unfortunate. So, I don't know how to work this. Yes, I meant to mention. So I saw someone in the chat. Yes, Mario Kart World has a great soundtrack, and I already am planning out a ranking of some of the newer tracks. I'll figure out the camera at a later date. But just know that I bought a Luna camera. It was only like $120. This little like 4K little nugget. I mean, it's not great, but it will definitely be good. How come? But seriously, though, this is actually bothering me. Why it's not here? It should be. It's plugged in. I'm very grumpy about this. How many of you are not patrons? Just out of curiosity. Yeah, I like that new Gusty Garden Galaxy. What's up, Nick? You're not. You are in your own ways. All right, well, no, it's not about that. So next Wednesday, I'm going to be opening up. No, it's perfect. This is great. I'm opening up. We're going to do our monthly community-based live stream starting next Wednesday. And I will make a community post later today, I think, or tomorrow, or sometime soon, asking you for your songs, and then, or we'll do chaos and just have it all be done at the same time. I'm not sure. But I just want you to know and feel heard that while Fridays are almost always exclusively Patreon suggestion streams, I just want you to know that I hear you and I see you, and once a month, we will definitely have our community gathering where we listen to music as a community, and we try to go through as many suggestions from you guys who are not patrons in what, 2 hours, 3 hours. So I can guarantee you that that's every month. I think we'll do like the third week of the month, second week of the month, and we'll make sure that gets done. All right, I'm stalling because I'm sleepy. All right, so today we have a bunch of stuff. Let's see. It will be a general suggestion stream. Oh, that's cool. Under 5 minutes, yes. I'll set up a bunch of rules and stuff. So today we're taking a look at. Oh, let me set this up. I don't mind having a running track list. That's fine. I know some people like to see what's coming down the bend. So let me take care of this. Oops. All right, don't look at that though. Hold on. Whoop. Can you even read that? No. Can you read that? Hello? Hello? Hey, Ollie, what's up? Hello? Hey, Sana, merci! Merci beaucoup! Je suis tellement content! Can you see this? Hey, Sana, merci! Merci beaucoup! Oh my god. Je suis... Can you see that? Not really. Hello. Alright. Yeah, I know they didn't give Miyamoto any shout-outs. I like Mario Kart World. I actually like it more than Mario Kart 8. That's the happiest that's the most I've played of Mario Kart. I've played 4 hours. I think Mario Kart 8 I only played like 15 hours in my lifetime. So I am enjoying it so far. Chris, for the Friday streams you do, but for normal our stream next week, no. I've managed to stay fairly spoiler free. There were 2 things that I asked Twitter about, and I have it on good authority that I won't have to quit Wuthering Waves because Frulova is staying morally gray, which is all that matters. We got any Pokemon in here? I don't think so. We got a lot of other cool stuff, but no Pokemon. We got some Assassin's Creed. We got some RoboQuest. Ooh, RoboQuest. Of course it's Siren. We've got some Umineko. We got some Limbus Company. We got some Octopath Traveler. We got some Outer Worlds. We got some Alters, which I just uploaded today, which is hilarious. Is Frulova my new Camellia? Lupa's my new Camellia. I did S3 Cardathea though, which is dumb. What's up, Apple? I definitely need to do a new Pokemon video. I've been playing Pokemon Scarlet on my Switch 2, which has been very fun. So, all right, enough dwaddling. Kirby, I don't know if you're still here, Kirby. I know you were walking some dogs, but if you are, good day to you, Kloba. But if you are, we're gonna start up here. Scarlet's been fun. It's actually very smooth. I'm doing that thing though where I play too many games at one time. You know what I was playing today for the first time? Who's the person that has been suggesting Splatoon to me? I picked up Splatoon 3. You might dip. It's all my fault because I just talk too much. Splatoon 2. This was Deadly Hands. Is anybody else? There's at least 12 other versions of Splatoon. Deadly Hands. Nebby has asked for Splatoon 3. Juan has asked for Splatoon 2 and 3. Juan likes Splatoon 3 a lot. Okay. It was mostly 3 people. Okay. Well, Splatoon is very fun. Yeah, I just started playing it. Yeah, it's great. And they got that new update. Anyway, enough chatter. It was horrible, I know. You want to touch the musical genres as narration tools idea today, Marco? What would Marco think of that? Can you expound on that? I'd love to talk about it. I know, I wish it ran like that too. Musical genres as narration tools. When do you think you'll have your opera singer friend again? Oh, thank you, Ermito. Sean is currently in Barcelona, so not anytime soon. But I did ask like 5 other people today. They postponed the Splatoon concert because of the terrorist threat. That's right. I remember that. So here's a thought. Horror games. I'm going to try to get Susie Hunter on the channel. Horror games as a narration tool, music is massive for those experiences. Like, in order to really, really fit into the ambient landscape of horror music, we desperately need music in horror games, especially. I've also been playing Breath of the Wild at 60 FPS, which has been, I mean, it's like a totally different game. It's like playing it for the first time. Like, at some point I'm going to get to Tears of the Kingdom. Astounding. Breath of the Wild, the music of Breath of the Wild is really growing on me. And I could see why people complained about it or were sort of caught up in it, in the idea of like there not being the melodic structures that we're used to as a narration device in it. But actually, it's kind of lovely. It's always quiet, and then suddenly out of nowhere you'll get this beautiful like piano, like the wind in the breeze. And it's cool to me because you can hear the first time when you're at the Temple of Time, and right before you meet the king, that's where I got to today, and you encounter the statue and you choose like stamina or health. You get that beautiful little lick, like little accents of music. It's very interesting how that's done. I'm on my way to the lady, and I'm gonna stop by a stable, and I'm gonna hop on a horse later, and I want to rethink about how that horse music, which is still here, bum biddy-dum bum biddy-dum bum biddy-dum bum, the galloping of the horse and stuff. The Twitter title still says Twitter. I'm gonna turn that off. Okay. The Warhammer Online OST, huh? Which horror games do you say have good music? Oh, Dead Space, Dead Space, Resident Evil 4, Silent Hill 2, Signalis, so many. Yeah, absolutely. All right, enough talk. Kirby wants Spyro Enter the Dragonfly crop dusting. Crop Circle Country, Spyro Enter the Dragonfly, another song from this particular Spyro game that scared me as a kid. If you laugh again like last month, I get to treat myself to ice cream. The level is set across farmlands at night with a green haze over the fields around you. I personally love how this song manages to have a creepy alien feeling with just a hint of B-movie ham. Something about it. Where would you go for ice cream? About it sounds like backing music to an old radio broadcast of War of the Worlds. The percussion gets really erratic at points, and the quiet keyboard that comes in during the last 20 seconds of the song is a personal highlight. Word. Talking about a horror game, how come a classical piece that would be happy outside the game would be way more creepier inserted between two classical horror genre music? Context. Context, I think. Context is sort of everything. Because a classical piece outside of a given context will live within its own little life bubble, you know? Like how do I explain this? Like, classical music on its own does not necessarily have a context because it's written, it's written simply. It's written to be written. There's not necessarily a story. Now, what's interesting about classical music in general, but I'd probably say any piece of music, is that classical music, tends to be like a projection of a composer's feelings or thoughts as they're writing it. Now, we're not privy to those actual, like the contextual clues, we are privy to that. We're not privy to the actual thought process of a composer while they're writing it, unless we're like watching a commentary or like a modern composer talk about their music. But in general, most classical artists are dead. And so we don't get sort of the immediacy of like, well, what was their intention? And so it's our job as musical feelers and artists to say, okay, what do I hear? What about this feels like whatever the music is trying to tell me, right? So it's not possible to be right because we are not the composers. And that also goes for contemporary composition when it comes to, outside of video games, but certainly with video games as well. Now, we know the setting of the piece. We know that a piece belongs in a certain moment, okay? But that's the clue there, right? But if we extract it, when we sit and listen, what does the piece tell us musically about what is occurring in the game? And that's the beauty of what we do here on this channel, right? When we sit down together, when we come together for these live streams, yes, it's me like sort of guiding and talking, but it's also like, okay, what do we hear? What do we notice? What are the clues the composer left behind? I had a milkshake 2 days ago. It was so fucking good. Cookies and cream. What are the clues that the composer leaves behind for us as listeners to connect with, to feel, And that is our job as music lovers and music listeners. What are we feeling when we listen to something, right? We don't have to be correct. We don't have to be like, well, this moment reminds me of when the character dies, or this moment reminds me of when this, that, or the other. Yes, in context, yes. But when we extract, that's when we get to create our own context. And that's the beauty of like all the stuff I used to do as an opera singer. Yeah, Ollie, I mean, it's a very complex, it's a very complex video idea, which I don't think would actually land very well with the audience. I did a lot of thinking about this week, actually, while I was away, about how to talk about high-level musical thoughts and ideas that I find interesting, while also retaining the sort of shackles that YouTube sort of forces on creators at this point in the game, and like the way that the algorithm functions and what people are actively seeking and engaging with on YouTube today. It's a very complex thing, and I feel very lucky that I'm able to more or less freely talk about what I like to varying degrees of success. But it's tough to, this high level musical concept is just not for everybody, which is fine. But I was actually talking with my therapist about it yesterday. I was like, how do I continue to cater to what my audience wants and needs while also, catering to my own self-interests and my own desires and feelings? And how do I stay on the treadmill of content production while also making sure that I'm taking time to write this video that I'm still like super delayed on for Babylon's Fall, or take the time to sing the 30 lines of chorus that I need to do for Lawrence the First Vicar so that I can send it over to my orchestrator, right? Because I'm doing more covers now. How do I take the time to film and produce a really beautiful music video that may get 5,000 views, might get 100,000 views, right? But that's for me. And so the things that are for me take more time than the things that are for others, which are maybe quicker, or which is why I like these live streams, because there's like 3 hours of just bullshit. We're just shooting the shit. You know what I mean? We're just talking about music where there's no like agenda. There's no like, there's structure, but it's like super loose, you know, tangents like this that go on for 25, 30 minutes. No, I love ideas, but all that to say, like, you know, I could, good morning. I could do a Deltarune OST reaction right now, regardless of the copyright, and it would make sense to, because it's at its height of popularity right now, and also the Undertale / Deltarune community is very entrenched in their game, and they will be around for. It's the same thing with gacha stuff, actually, not to compare the two, but like gacha game audiences will always seek out the content around the gacha that they enjoy. So there's no real like for instance, I was intending on filming the Aquila boss theme from Honkai Star Rail before I left for my trip, but I just ran out of time. I literally worked 7 days last week, and so I know that maybe it won't reach every possible person in like 2 weeks, but I know that there will still be the folks that are here that are interested in that will still watch it. But, you know, chasing the carrot mixed with all the different things, it's all very interesting. So, sorry. Pray, yeah. Are you really doing that? Yes. You don't like hearing content creators asking the audience the sort of content they would like to watch, because my gut reaction is that they would like to watch, because my gut reaction is that the person will not have a genuine interest to it. Well, Kloba, my entire channel is a mixture of what I want, what my audience wants, and what's trending. That's just the way it goes. Shrug, it's tomorrow morning, Eastern, 10 a.m. I like to do things that people like as well as things that I like. Well, Eli, so Toby makes the music, but he doesn't own the music. He doesn't own the copyright. The company that he is connected through, that handles it, takes care of that. So that's why there's an issue there. Hey, Mitko, what's up? There should be space in August. Happy early 40th. That's amazing. Hey, Lantau, is it possible? Yes. Yes, it's complicated. Can I recommend opera music? Miko, can you I'm mispronouncing that name. Can you go to Discord and please open a ticket for a Patreon? Kramen, are you here? Can you? Can I recommend opera music? You can. I won't play it, but we can talk about it. Yeah, unfortunately, it's definitely a hustle. Oh, thank you, Kramen. Good morning. Yeah. Right. Setagraya. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, and Draco's here too. Just open up a ticket and then we'll keep it because there's some alternation right now. So, July would be a good time. I can get into it. Anyway, yeah, there's always a balance. But also, listen, I mean, one more thought and then we'll get into the music. I'm so sorry. I just haven't seen you guys in days. In days. What am I going to do? I've been talking to myself. The other thought is, without an audience being like, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? If it was only what I'm interested in, it wouldn't be that great, to be honest with you, because it would be of a very small scope. Like, I love video games as much as all of you love video games, because you're on a live stream about video games, right? So we collectively love video games. However, my experience with such are not very big. Final Fantasy, Metal Gear, even though I have like 900 games in my Steam library, there's so much I don't know. And so the reason why I consistently reach out to my community members and get community engagement, Kloba, if you're still here, I hope you're still here. If not, it's okay. Is because you know more than I do. Because collectively we know a shit ton as a unit, as a group of people that listen to video game music. So to me, it's a boon, because like there's so much stuff. There's only so much that I can literally, like, there's not enough time in the day. I wish there was. I wish we had like 48 hours in a day, but we don't. So sometimes, exactly, Mazuruki, sometimes I listen to something, I don't really like it. And I've done a lot. I've tried really hard to lean into, well, I don't like this. Like with Persona 5, I've recognized now after listening to tracks, and I'm going to listen to more tracks, that I don't really like Persona 5's music. But in order to do that, I have to sit down and listen to it as an outsider of that series, and try to understand why, and also like I have to be suggested things from it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Anyway, okay. So all that to be said, I know that I can understand that it seems like it's disingenuous, but that couldn't be further from the truth. I'm not a saint, but I'm not perfect. Certainly not. I've done a lot of dumb shit in my life. We all have. I got really lucky with this platform. I love talking about this channel. I love talking about the community I've built. I love talking about all, like, just the opportunities I have. And it's the best job in the world, right? I love it, right? It's amazing. That being said, like, one thing that I've noticed by internet denizens, myself included, is the gap between, the gap between what I am saying to you versus your interpretation of it is very vast. And that's something I've learned after almost, we're closing in on 4 years, closer than 3. We're, right in the middle between 3 and 4 years of me doing this channel. And it's like almost 3.5 years. And it's like, so I made a post that was like, hey, I'm not going to keep playing this game if this, and this. And then the person was like, well, you should just quit now because clearly whatever, it clearly seems like blah, 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 blah. And I said, with all due respect, you actually don't, when you say what seems, that means that you're perceiving it through the lens of you, the person that exists, versus me, the person who's saying it. And there's a big divide between that. And with all creators, no matter how much they present, whatever they present, how much of it is true? How much of it is truly them as a person? And I like to believe that what I present is 90% me, right? But there's that 10% that is mine and only mine, right? This is like obvious stuff, but I'm just like talking. And so, but that 10% is a big gap, because someone is not everybody's going to understand where I'm coming from. And so I'm just fucking ranting now, and I'm going to keep going. 770s, they're worth it. You're only in control of how you encode your message. You can't control how someone decodes your message. Yes. That is exactly right. Hello. All right, anyway, holy yap. 35 minutes of yap? Oh my God. Why would you do this to me? This is all Ollie's fault. Ollie, are you still here? That was all Ollie's fault. Don't blame anybody. Blame Ollie. Ollie asked me a question. It like flipped my brain open, and now I'm fucking Oh boy. I'm hyped too. I've heard nothing but good things about 2.4. I also heard it's pretty short, so tomorrow we'll finish that and then we'll build Cardathea because I S3'd her like a dummy. But it's okay because I'm gonna skip the Gladiator girls. You can't waste your time indefinitely making your message more understanding for dumb fucks because they. Oh, that's so funny. That's certainly one way to say it. How many ohms? I think this is 32. Yeah, it's 32. When I had I think I had the 91, and that one didn't. That one didn't work. One more example. Like today I was one guide. So where's my sheet? Hold on, let me get this. Today I was one guide. So hold on. Zero. And they were essentially calling me a shill for continuing to like a game despite its practices, and basically like, you know, losing faith in content creators. And it's like, well, first of all, why do you have any faith in content creators? Like, I learned a long time ago that everyone is probably going to fail you, and you really shouldn't attach anything towards someone that you don't know and who doesn't know you, because there is like, I mean, I think we enjoy a dance of loyalty and like balance, but there are content creators that are only in it to make as much money as possible, right? Or that don't actively, like, you know, it's such the parasocial line of things is very interesting to me. You know, so that's why when people say I love you to me, I don't answer, because I'll say thank you, but I don't. It's not like I'm so grateful, but I can appreciate and love a group for what they've given me, because without a group, without an audience, there is no performance. And likewise, there is a performance, but it's not nearly the same if there's no audience. Oh, thank you, Lumi. But that being said, I've had to quit Olipop Redcar. I'm going to tell you a story. You should not, you know, there's all this stuff that's going on with voice actors on Twitter, which, whatever, you know, like, and people are like, I used to look up to you. Don't look up to people. Like, look to people superficially for like how you can maybe, you know, be a better version of yourself. But like, man, I've been let down in this life by people that I thought were one thing and ended up either becoming another or were another. Or you meet somebody and you're like, wow, what a fucking asshole. So, you know, I really worry about people that say I used to look up to you to like whatever person. It's like, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. I can be an asshole. You know? Like, don't look up to me. You know what I mean? Like, don't look up to people that don't know you, don't have a, like, don't, you know, that and you don't really know either, because it's a recipe for just failure. It's a recipe for pain, and even when you do know them, they still end up failing you. And that's why people, you know, that's why people end up, you know, okay, wait, I'm about to broach a very delicate subject here, so let me make sure I phrase this the right way. Once upon a time, I was actively seeking out what faith looks like, religious faith. Okay, hear me out. And I was reading this book. I don't even remember what book it was. But I used to read a lot about religion and faith, and, you know, mostly Christianity and then Buddhism and whatever. And someone I think it was Tim Keller's book, A Reason for God, which I found incredibly interesting as an agnostic at the time. And it was like, everyone in your life is going to fail you, but the only thing that won't fail you well, in that case, God. And I found that really interesting because regardless of whether you believe in that or not, what does that concept even look like? Because it's like, yeah, everyone will fail. Your parents will fail you. You know, your parents might fail you by dying. You know, like, oh, and hear the words I'm saying, but if we can sort of disseminate what I'm saying, I'm not saying like someone dying is a failure. They have failed you, but what I mean is that like it will lead to your inevitable suffering in one way or another, right? And I find that so interesting because everyone's going to let you down. Shit, I mean, you might even let yourself down. Your body might let you down. Like, how do you stand up and say, I think about this for myself. It's like, how do I stand up and how do I live? You know, I was talking with my fiance this weekend about work, because I've been trying to have a better life with my work. I love my job, but it can be, you know, talking about railroads and talking about, you know, this is all your fault. I wasn't even talking about any of this. You guys opened the door and I just walked in. So if anybody has anybody to blame, look at yourself. You opened the floodgates. You opened the floodgates. When I was working, viewer shaming, yeah, I know. When I was, we went to Jersey Mike's, and Jersey Mike's, the manager was extremely good. Like, I was blown away. It was as good as like a 5-star restaurant. And I was like, holy shit, like this dude is really fucking good at his job. And like someone could be like, wow, well, it's just Jersey Mike's, like, you know what? And it's like, well, no, that's bullshit. Because for instance, when I was working as an opera singer, I fucking hated every day. And I had a prestigious job. You know what I mean? Like work is work. And you can like, I remember there was a, you know, the people the shuttle drivers that bring you from the rental car place at the airport to the terminal departures. Jersey Mike's is really good, by the way. Like, I was blown away. Hey Maple, what's up, buddy? I asked him, I said, why are you smiling? Like, why? He's like, I love my job. And I was like, wow, I should love my job as this like prestigious opera singer, traveling and having my flights paid for me and shit. But yet there I was, like, more miserable than this person. Or like, I don't know. I find it really interesting how what the fuck is the point of, why am I even saying any of this? What is the point of this? I think a lot of people looked up to you. Now you've done something disappointing, so I can't look up to you. If you can accept and forgive the same as you'd hope. Yeah. Right. What if a chain sub was actually good? Yeah. Randy Rhoads, the guitarist of Ozzy Osbourne, who died early, hated touring. He wanted to go back to his little town and teach guitar. But there's something to be said for just like living, because like, what is comfort? You know, like what is a comfortable life? It is for instance, is what we're doing today, whatever work we're doing, this or your work or what you worked on today, happy Friday, is that, are you comfortable? Is that comfort bad? Is that comfort good? Is that comfort, you know, do you seek more? How do you go to more? Do you accept comfort? Do you view comfort as stagnation? What is stagnation? You know, like, these are the questions that I think make, and also like these questions, I'm 37. These questions also can apply to the music that we listen to. Why do I feel this way when I listen to it? You know, why do I connect with a piece that makes me cry? Why do I cry? You know, and moreover, maybe we don't even need to know. Maybe we just say, I'm comfortable knowing that this piece makes me what it makes me. You know what I mean? It depends. Not everyone wants the same thing, and it's not a good thing to want them to. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bunny Bang Bang. What a fucking hilarious username. 37, still younger than me. Fuck. Anyway, you guys fucked me up today. Let's get started, shall we? Did I lose you? How many of you left? Let me see. I'm grateful for those of you that are still here. Actually, more of you came. That's hilarious. My autism doesn't let me differentiate emotions, so half the time I cry. I have no idea still. I mean, that's fair. And look, I mean, like, from my perspective, having obsessive compulsive disorder, my brain, without medicine, I'm a fucking disaster. And it doesn't matter how much therapy I did. I desperately needed to find medicine in order to heal that. And my entire life, my dad was always like, don't take medicine, don't take medicine. And when my dad died, I had to become a father for myself. And like, what does that mean for me as a 30-something to own and take ownership over my life and not rely on my dad, who was my best friend? How do I not rely on that support system? And how do I become a support system for myself? And so it became clear that medicine was the right way to navigate. And I still have episodes of raging anxiety or panic attacks at night sometimes, like, right? But like, in general, I'm trying to take responsibility. See, that's another tangent. I'm trying to take I'm trying to take accountability for, an ownership of my own life, while also maybe being comfortable, maybe filming a video every day, sometimes repeating myself multiple times, feeling like I say the same shit all the time, triggering my imposter syndrome because I'm literally just saying the same stuff half the time, or like going on a tangent about this, that, or the other. Maybe I could improve my videos. Maybe they could be tighter. Maybe they could be less. Maybe they could be more. Maybe they could be this. Maybe I could be making 27 grand a month, right? I saw some like videos like, YouTuber makes $27,000. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm over here like, what? I ain't making $27,000 a month. I've had some good months. I don't think I've ever breached that kind of money, and it's like, what about, it's like, oh, the person who like films one video and like every single video they do once every 3 months is like 130 to 300,000 views. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I'll film a video and it'll maybe cross X threshold, right? Is there something wrong with me? No, I just love to work. And so I love to output. The people that enjoy that output, they'll be there. My job is to output because outputting is fun, right? And that's how I derive my enjoyment. Whereas the person that's like, I want to hyper focus on one topic for 3 months, produce a video, I know it'll get X amount of views. Cool. That's another tangent. See? Would you say throwing yourself into your passions allows for comfort, especially on those days where medication isn't as effective? No, I've never, no. When I'm in a white knuckle episode, nothing helps that, personally. Like if I'm spinning, nothing helps. Plus with my particular disorder, like, compulsions, perpetuate. OCD wants to keep you alive, but in order to keep you alive, it also makes you die. It's a very fucked mental disorder, because they'll be like, well, I can't get on the plane because, well, actually, no, that's so sad about, anyway. I can't go to the gym because my heart might stop, but my heart might stop if I actually don't go to the gym and take care of myself. You see the parallel there? And so it's like, you also can't distract yourself from that, because the spin cycle for OCD can be very violent mentally. Like it just like isn't kind of like I had that tick 2 weeks ago. I had a tick crawling up my ear. I've thought about that tick nearly every day since it happened. I itch more. And so the compulsion becomes, let me check behind my ear. Okay, no, I'm okay. Let me check behind my ear. I felt, okay. No, I gotta check behind my ear. That's a compulsion. It's like, well, maybe a tick is there, maybe it isn't, or it was just a one-time freak accident. You know what I mean? Okay. But yeah, burnout is a real thing, and you do have to be abundantly careful of it. So it's a delicate thing. I worked for 7 days straight. I burnt myself out last week. The rest of the month, unless something comes up that I need to jump on, I'm playing video games because I promised myself that that's what I would do, right? So I used to do like 10 videos a day, but because I've changed the way I structure my content, now it's like I'll do batches where I'll be in hyper focus mode, and then the rest I'll just have a good time, because I know that I'm set up, right? Because I know that that's the workflow that's going to work for me, so that I can take 2 weeks off. I can, from filming, from being a YouTuber, and then I can switch to being a streamer because I enjoy playing games and I enjoy hanging out with people and I enjoy talking, obviously. And the thing is, like, burnout affects everybody, That wasn't a hard question. Stellar Blade PC stream on Monday, baby. And then Wind Waker. I promised. There's a lot of things. Oh my God, someone the other day said, you said you would listen to such and such, but you didn't. And I go, hold on now. Did I say I promised I would, or did I say I would like to and I hope to? Because those two things are very different. Because I try not to promise anything, because people, the word I promise is massive. And we have to be so careful about what we promise in case we do not deliver. Because it's better to... Soapboxing? What the fuck? What kind of bullshit is that? Soapboxing. That is some bullshit. Soapboxing. The fuck? Alright. Crop Circle Country. Excuse me. Alright, we're diving into music. You're right. I should stop. Holy shit. 50 minutes? Oh my God. I just yapped for 50 fucking minutes? That's terrible. Don't give me a mic. Don't give me a mic. The nerve. What, you pay for this or something? See you, Clubba. Thank you. I actually don't know how people sit there and yap for hours and hours. Like people that have like no agenda, or they like go through like drama YouTubers where they go through the latest like Twitter posts and shit. Holy fuck, the amount of spin that you have to do for that. Whew. I can't do that. I'll get tired after a while. All right, let's do it. Spyro, Enter the Dragonfly, Crop Circle Dusting Country. It's muted. My bad. Hold on. Hey, a psychiatrist said I don't have ADHD, so put that in your pipe and smoke it. Can I still say things like that? I don't know. Don't cancel me. The whole time singing. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, so the reason why you're afraid of this track, also, ha ha ha, go buy yourself a milkshake, because I laughed. I have noticed a rampant amount of use of the R word. The R word on Twitter especially is prevalent. Anyway, don't... See, Ollie! Bro, what the fuck? Can you not? I'm about to jumpstart another fucking rant. Anyway... the reason why you think this is Another reason why you think that this no, it's teasing. Another reason that's me being playfully sarcastic. Another reason why this is probably scary for you is right away, this little movement. Ba da ba ba. That's a tritone. I think so. Hold on. Let's just. I think so. I think that's a tritone. And what's really interesting to me about that is that if it is a tritone, because I don't have a keyboard in front of me, if someone is at home and has a keyboard, I have a keyboard here, but I've got shit all over it. Anyway, point is, the tritone is the devil's chord, you know? Maria. Yeah, it is a tritone. Maria. Ba, ba, ba. Right? So that is a scary leap. It's a seventh. Ba, ba, ba. I think so. Ba, ba. And for whatever reason, what do they call it? They call it the devil's tone. Hold on. The devil's chord. Okay, what is the tritone and why is it nicknamed the devil's interval? Here we go. A tritone is an interval made up of 3 notes or 6 semitones in each diatonic scale, or the most basic scale of a key. Speaking of Dune, man, Dune Awakening is fucking addictive. So in a C major scale, this would be between F or B and okay, whatever. Before the invention of keyboard instruments, there was no universal tuning, and instruments were tuned in lots of different ways. The tritone actually played a vital role in the development of modern harmony. An interesting part of the story is that not all accidentals were created at the same time. F sharp and B flat were the first ones. Okay, no one gives a fuck. I do, actually, but in times past, music was organized into modes rather than keys. You know, you've heard of the Phrygian mode, Lydian mode. Each mode has its own recognizable... Okay, please, just... John Sloboda, a professor of music psychology at the Guildhall School, the tritone in particular unnerving because the human brain is hardwired to find harmony and symmetry in music. When we hear something dissonant, it gives you a little bit of an emotional frisson because it's strange and unexpected. The emotional result of hearing a tritone might not be too different from one experienced at the bottom of a staircase that failed to mention it's missing its last step. So, okay, there we go. Validated again. It's all about emotion. So, in this particular case with this theme, what you hear there is the reason why it's scary. Because it's just dissonant. Maria. I think also another reason why this piece would be considered scary for young Kirby Bandicoot is because the randomness of the rhythm and the randomness of the percussion. And so if you really try to latch onto it and really listen to it, it's all over the place. Like, yeah, I mean, it's obviously it's like structured, it's written out and what have you, but it moves in a way where it's kind of like, okay, where the hell is this going? Another reason why it's uncomfortable, because so we've got a tritone and we've got like basically randomness when it comes to movement. Those things cause tension, right? Tension sometimes equals fear. Makes sense. Also, that sounds like sort of a sitar. Sitar has a flavor to it that is, I mean, twangy, but there's a certain like, sitar is interesting because each note is obviously it's produced and it's a fully centered note, and yet there's this quality in it of almost like it's like oscillating in microtones between the notes that are around that one note, that it's not flat or sharp, but it's like, I don't know, the way that the sitar vibrates to me. It feels like it dances a little bit between notes. And I think that's also another reason why it's spooky. And then you have the spooky sound in the back. And then you've got doubled sitar almost. And you have that note repeated. And then you hear this, like, there's actually like a speed up here too, which is really cool. You know, do I love that piece? No. Would I listen to that outside of this stream? No. I wouldn't. That music to me doesn't do anything to me, right? It doesn't move me. It doesn't. I mean, I could hear why it's spooky. You know, they left, but now, see, that's my genuine opinion, right? But that being said, there's still merit to listening to it. You know what I mean? And I could see why that would scare you, because there are a bunch of things in this piece that are uncomfortable. And I think that's worth talking about alone. A hunter must hunt. Thank you. Thank you, KB. Thank you, Kramen. We're skipping this one for 620. Okay. Well, it's definitely not a jam. Octopath Traveler. The Frostlands and the Flatlands back to back. Save this for you so you can listen to the other Octopath. Oh, okay. You can skip this one if you listen to 4 or 5 already on stream. Uh-huh. I don't know what that means. Wait, what? The Flatlands. The Flatlands are a grassy meadow region to the northeastern side of Orsteda. The region includes the town of Atlasdam. Oh, I love... Is this? Which is home to the scholar Cyrus. Yeah, let's do it. The Flatlands naturally has a banjo. That's hilarious. Yeah, so I think on the loop here, one of the things that's really beautiful about this is just how you still get the sense of like the wind blowing in your hair with the use of the woodwinds and the way that we sort of slide up ba ba da ba ba da bo ba da da ba ba da bo bo bo. Like that sound to me is very wind traveled, wind swept. There's a feeling in that, I think, of like journey. But on the flip side, I also think like there's something really warm about it. It reminds me a lot of the Shire. You know, like bright greens and like people pruning their flowers on their little like the little flower beds that are attached to their homes, and a beautiful white picket fence, and a beautiful white dress. There's something really cozy about this feeling of I'm just picturing a warm twinkling lake, man-made lake with fish jumping out and kids fishing and up to their knees in water, and smiles on people, and just the warmth of an afternoon, not too hot, a nice breeze in the air. Like that's the sound that that lingers in this with me. Yeah, everything you guys are saying is totally right. Now, that being said, though, another thing worth noting is the lovely thump 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 thump. Right. So that's actually like a real nice sort of boost or buoy to that beautiful woodwind melody. Ba ba da 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 pum 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 pum. And you also get a little bit of this really nice I think it's castanet, or I think it's castanet. Hold on, let me listen. I know it's a tambourine. Da 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 da. Right? There's all these little things that exist within this piece do a great job of carrying us away on this feeling of adventure, right? Oh, and then I love that. Listen to this gorgeous thing. Oh, stop singing. Listen to this. And then a really beautiful resolution there, back to the sort of major, the tonic. Da, da. Very nice, very pretty. And then look how smooth this transition is here. That's such a classic, like sort of bridge moment where we take the and then we thrust in, we sprinkle in the banjo there, which again, very country sound, very there's a warmth in that sound that's really obvious. I mean, this just seems like really bright, tall grass and things like that. Oh wait, those are castanets. Yeah, there's definitely a sense of adventure in it too, especially when the strings then take over, because the strings are really lush and full, right? You feel like, okay, we've got to keep going. Like there's this sense of, exploration in that sound. It's really beautiful. Lovely, lovely piece. Lovely piece. Okay, save this for you so you can listen to the other track, the other Octopath Traveler. You can skip this one if you listen to 4 or 5 already on stream. I don't know what that means. Hyox, but let's do the Frostlands now. Here we go. Oh, I remember this track. So something that this track does that I find especially interesting compared to many other sort of wintry tracks is the well, you know, I think Sonic Unleashed does something similar. There's that synthetic that really is the wintry air, you know, kind of blowing. And something else structurally that I think is really cool is also the upper register in the piano. Upper register, yep. And again, that's like the icicles, like the water dripping off the icicles, you know. Oh God, he sounded like shit. He's not a real opera singer. You know, like that is really stands out to me. See there too, there's this like real like glistening in the summer, the sun twinkling into the reflection of the icicle. You see the icicle melts. There's this real warmth about it, even though it's in a snowy place. And then what's cool is that it's very still. There's not like a storm coming, right? I love this transition. Take a listen to how cool this transition is. So what we do is we swell there. We go, and then we re-emphasize. Pretty dope. Little subtle. Yeah, isn't that cool? So it kind of leaps into the next section, and then the next section expands on itself. I think that's a really, really emotional phrase, actually. Listen to this. What do you think that sounds like to me? That's interesting. That to me feels like reconciliation. That to me sounds like it's the feeling. The sound is of quiet reflection. That sounds to me like a feeling of letting go of something. I find that to be very, very, very melancholic. Right? Yada 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 yada. Now it resolves, but the way that it gets there is sort of this kind of meandery thing. Also, the reason why I sing things back to you, chat, is because sometimes when we just have the human voice, it actually does a really great job of helping us understand why something sounds the way it sounds, because you can almost imprint emotion vocally when you're singing. It's something that I'm sort of trained in doing. It's one of the things I'm probably most confident in, is my ability to portray emotion through voice. But it's really, oh great, Miko, that's great. I just really love that little sound. Happy early birthday. And there's expectancy. Hey, Remus. there's a bit of hope in that sound as it rises up, right? Yeah, I mean, of the two, I would say that this one is definitely the one you put on while you're working or thinking about life and really in a reflective state. Really beautiful. Okay, let's go to Limbus Company now. Rosentrist, this is Tian Tian. Millie, oh, damn it. I'm sorry, I can't do this one. Ugh. I really hate that Millie, the copyright is so... I know Millie's okay with it, but the copyright... I mean, I'm sure there will be something else that gets copyright claimed in this, and... what a bummer. All right, Remembrance. That's fine. Good morning! This is 3 versions... a milli. This is 3 versions of the same theme that have been stitched together. Each version represents a stage of a character's development. It starts off as simply looking back wistfully, but then it swells with emotion before arriving at a resolution. That's the vibe I got from it altogether. All right, cool. Okay. So wait, okay, let me just see here. This is 3 versions of the same theme. Each version is wistfully. Looking back wistfully. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting... I find that's a pretty interesting and pretty accurate... Well, again, it doesn't matter what accurate is because you're right. What I find really interesting about this particular piece is that the emotion is sustained for a very long time, which I think looking back wistfully is a totally valid thing to pick up on. I also think that generally this piece reminds me of loss. It reminds me of the stillness that occurs after loss. Loss of friendship, loss of relationship, loss of whatever. It doesn't have to be death. But the music ends up, there's a lot of space in the piano, even though there's some nice sustaining underneath with the bows and upper bows. Like, I find that to be pretty cool because essentially what we end up getting is this sustained feeling of of just like, how do I exist? Yeah, like the very simple piano over top. Like how do I exist in this life now? That's the kind of question that sort of like sits within me when I listen to that. See, we get some oscillations in major here that I think are really interesting, because the piece essentially lends itself to the ideas of growth and like what it means to move through a different season of shifting, of changing ideology, of changing emotional perspectives. Sorry. Like, why do we have the piano there doing this beautiful arpeggiation in the very upper register? Like, what does that mean? What does it mean when there's a tonal shift when the strings come in? And it feels like it's slightly brighter, like it's not the darkest part of the night. Maybe it's the sun rising for the first time at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. when, oh my God, I never thought that the day would come. There's that sense of relief, there's sense of relief and release. It's very elegant in how it is. I mean, it's essentially, it really sounds like what it sounds like, what it feels like to grieve. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to make you yawn. I don't know what's going on. It's interesting how phase 3 there actually ended up with more. I mean, it was very still. Even though it had movement, it still felt very like settled. I think the thematic elements in that of grief and processing and growth and moving through and within sadness and the sort of natural changes that occur within us when we are going through that feeling of grief is I think really musically accurate to like the real processing of sadness. Not internal sadness, but like existential sadness. That was quite nice. I thought that was very beautiful. I felt it was unbelievably simple, which could become slightly boring. But I really liked how the simplicity, in some ways, paved the way for genuine feeling without like overcomplicating it or making it too dense or rich. So, just as a sort of thought process of, thinking about the bigger picture of that piece. Okay. What the hell is Blue Stinger? It's your birthday month. AFK, are you here? Happy birthday. My voice is so tired from travel, but happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And Bunny. Happy birthday. Oh my God, my voice is so tired. Oh, you are AFK. Well, happy birthday, Christopher. And Bunny, you turned 38 last month. I'm so sorry. I'm not yawning because it's your birthday. I'm just yawning because I'm tired. It's my birthday month, and to celebrate, I've upgraded temporarily to Turandot. No problem. So I can have a song from one of my most favorite games of all time, listen to and analyze. I'm not going to ramble on and on like I've done before. I'm just going to let Toshihiko Sahashi's work speak for itself and let your imagination paint a picture of what's going on. He's only composed a couple of games versus multiple TV shows and movies, but this OST had made me a fan of his. Okay, cool. That was not good singing, Morrow. Please raise your standards. Just teasing. Blue Stinger opening. Okay, cool. Let's check it out. Okay. Unexpected. It's interesting how this piece, the way it begins, this is essentially like the setting of the scene, right? Like we're in a meeting hall, right? And we're going through the plan, right? We're okay, like you're the hero and we need you. We need you specifically because we need help. And we can't do this on our own. And so we reach out to the hero and the hero shows up and the hero is like, I'm here. I'm here to help. This is very John Williams coded, very movie. Well, it makes sense actually based on what you mentioned about the TV movie stuff. But it feels very oh my God, the sun will shine again, It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool how, I think part of that's because of the French horn. I think the French horn has such a naturally warm and that beautiful hollow, like sort of ringing quality that exists within the French horn is just exceptional. It's definitely, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I think the cello still goes as my favorite instrument, but the warmth of the French horn is just is just excellent. And I think like there's a lot of like sort of like low simmer in this. There's not a lot of movement per se. Everything's very deliberate. It's kind of like a little bit like molasses, but there is this sense of like a new beginning. It feels like Superman, you know what I mean? I almost hummed the Guardian theme. I know. Cuz the French horn ba, 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 da, 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 absolutely had a little bit of that. Oh, that's what it is. And then the snare kicks in too. Oh? Huh. It's call and response there. It's really nice. See, this is nice. So the call and response here is really nice because it lends itself to the beauty of it. This really feels like flying, right? This feels like, oh my God, we can finally, like, we're free. We're free to make decisions that are right for us. We're free to launch ourselves into possibility, launch ourselves into opportunity, allow ourselves to, explore essentially. And I think the French horn and the strings there do a really great job of playing off of each other with this sense of almost as a catharsis, the sense of release, the sense of it's circling back to the idea of flight. Chum, chum. That's falling. Listen, isn't that cool? That's falling. That's falling. So then we're flying through the air. We encounter an enemy battleship. It shoots us out of the air, and we go falling, right? And then suddenly we're gonna get picked up back again. Watch, I have a feeling right here. Yeah, because we repeat this motivic idea. It really feels like flight more than anything. I'm kind of shocked by that, actually. I've not played this game before. Something really interesting is happening too here now, as we have the doubling in the piano as well, with moving in unison with the strings. Again, I think that as always does a really great job of heightening the intensity. Obviously, we have the real strong percussion and brass hits. Bum. You know, those are all like very synonymous with that idea of or concept of fight or villains, as Marouge said. Yeah. But then there's internal conflict there. Wow. Nice swell into the brass there. Just when we thought we were in the clear, we get chased again. And I mean, that obviously that's the opening of the game, so it sets up. Honestly, we went on a major journey there throughout the beginning. That the whole thing essentially was a tone poem. Let's remove ourselves from the context of the video game, whatever it is. Many of us have not played Blue Stinger, and allow ourselves to really think about the fact that like this piece, essentially just told us a story musically from the top to the bottom. You could visualize the interactions. You could visualize the experiences. You could visualize what each, instrument represented. That is what makes something like this very cool. Because, I bet you it's cool in context, obviously. But, like, the amazing thing is that there are classical composers, Richard Strauss, Hector Berlioz, Symphonie Fantastique, Also sprach Zarathustra. Like, there are composers that in the classical classical category that have created these things called tone poems that are telling story fundamentally through music from top to bottom. And now movie music is not dissimilar to tone poems. And in fact, in some cases, I would say that movie music is a little bit more on the nose than video game music. Also, it's truncated differently, it's written differently, and so on and so forth. But I think that was really interesting and really, really dense with visualization and stuff. So it's cool. Yeah, I really appreciated that. That was fun. Ryan, I'm going to save you for next week with Momo on 620 so that we aren't just doing one turn dot. So sorry about that. Let's move on to Renshin. This is Renshin's other. This is Freight. Good night. Oh, it's 1:20 a.m. Oh my goodness. Let's go to Fate Grand Order. Grand Battle. Now look up to the sky. Primordial Seal. Look up. Primordial Sea. Primordial Seal. Oh my god. Primordial Seal. Look up Primordial Sea. I'm so sorry. I told you I was tired. Goddess of Life and No Death. The song that plays during part 1 of FGO in the game is poppin'. Grand Battle. And if you're new to these streams, this is the part of the stream where I kind of dial it back, do much less talking, if any talking, mostly just vibing and enjoying and listening, which I think is a very important part. And I used to be a little bit ashamed of this, but honestly, like, this is the part of the stream where I get to sit back, take in new music, and really kind of percolate on things without feeling like I must say something, which is positive and negative. But I'm really excited to hear everyone's suggestions today, and thank you for being patient. I like the intensity in that track, but I also feel like when is chat OST suggestions out? Next Wednesday. Hey, Robzo. Hey, Wrench. Yeah, one of the things I liked about that track was the momentum in it. And even though it used a lot of the upper sounds, which I think produce a general feeling of innocence, a general feeling of lightness in the sound, a general feeling of like possibility and hope. I think it was also really nice to have that forward momentum, moving us through that thumb 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 thumb, like that. That really does a great job of serving the tension of the piece while still having the hope and possibility existing in the upper registers, especially. And it's also like kind of a short track, which is interesting how much we can sort of like get within a small track. So that was cool. The Outer Worlds, Left Adrift. This game could have been so much more. Give me a good space opera video game again. God damn it. God damn it. Are you going to play the second one? Wow, it almost wants to yada yada da ya. It almost sounds like yada ya, like a classical music piece. Nice brass emphasis there, very much so. Trombone? That sounds like low brass tuba and trombone there. That's so nice. I like the emphasis there with the strings, and then with the voices coupled. The twinkling of the stars right there. What an elegant, simple, just very thought-provoking. I mean, the thing is, like, that piece screams like arrival or transcendence or majesty, like incomprehensible beauty, right? But also, like, there's a bit of alienness to it as well, and a bit of it's like a wonderment, which is really beautiful. I really thought that was extremely pretty. Day theme 3, Oxygen Not Included. I originally just threw this in the suggestion channel, but I enjoy the game chill vibes with this. It does have a slow build. Plus, there's a unique aspect of this in that the menus will pull back the track to a specific instrument, making mini songs. It's an interesting touch. It's lengthy at just under 7.5 minutes. However, not sure if you will enjoy it or not, but I'm curious your thoughts. Sure. Listen. Sorry. You want to say something? I enjoyed that immensely. And here's the thing. What I find most endearing about that piece is the fact that it didn't shy away from just being what it is, which is mood, right? Busyness, like work. That is like predominantly a work piece, right? Like its vibe, it's like exploration, you know, it's uncovering truths. Like it's I found that the rhythmic part of it was so meditative that I would absolutely put that on like some sort of a work playlist. Like it was amazing. Like I wouldn't play that for somebody. I wouldn't showcase it to somebody or like be like, hey, this is music. But yeah, it was like sort of amorphously. It's interesting because it was kind of non-melodic, but there was like melody intertwined in it, but that wasn't what made it memorable. What made it memorable was the rhythmic execution of it, coupled with the overwhelming sense of like workmanship. I don't know. I found that like shockingly good. That's crazy. That was cool. Okay. Death Stranding. Oh, that's good, POTK. You pivoted back to Death Stranding. Over the Threshold. POTK. This was originally a track from the first Death Stranding to celebrate the release of DS2 being my most anticipated game of the year. Then 11-Bit Studios decided to drop the main theme of The Altars, my most anticipated game of the year. You can check out, they actually sponsored today's video of all things, which I thought, I don't really care if the video pops off or blows up. It's Altars is interesting because I feel like it's in this odd place where no one really knows what it is. But also there is some curiosity and people really respect and admire 11-bit Frostpunk 2. I mean, their track record's insanely good. And I find it really interesting how the music of that particular main theme is actually really, really, really well done and well written. Piotr Muziew, I think his last name is a great composer. So if you haven't checked out that video, definitely check out mine. Because also 11-bit appreciates the fact that their music is special and music is a fundamental part of their like games. So I think it's really cool that that's the second time they've come to me and be like, hey man, we know you like talking about music. Could you cover this game? I think that's awesome. That's like a dream come true for me. So anyway, The Altars, your second most anticipated game of the year. And seeing that it's not just a smaller game, but also releasing the day of this stream, I decided to switch it out. You can say that I altered it. Dag nabbit, Marco, you just had to ruin my joke and go make an individual video on the Altars theme, didn't you? I have altered my pick back to the Death Stranding track. I originally had. Pray I do not alter it further. Well, Death Stranding Over the Threshold it is. I've heard good things about DS2, by the way. People in the know have said it's very good. must be, is this Ludovic? Ludovic Porcel? Yeah, it must be. Yeah. Wow. Wow, that's really beautiful. You know, what a song of like potential, right? What a song of possibility and committing to one thing and really diving into that thing and pursuing it wholeheartedly without any reservations. Like that track really screams out to me. You know, keep going, right? Continue to push, like keep digging in, and I mean those are all the themes of Death Stranding anyway. Obviously there's synthetic qualities in it. I mean, really just a really lovely, just, I loved the hits in that. I loved the synthetic, almost synthwave qualities, especially just the desire to accomplish the goal. I think was really present in that. I really liked that part of it. Keep on keeping on. Let's go to Yakuza 1 from PS2. For whose sake? Asbestos. The theme of a fight where neither party desires the outcome. What are you fighting for? Oh, is this the fight? Oh, yeah, I think I know this piece. This got to be the fight with. See him on here. Yeah, I mean, what I find interesting here is that the concept or the idea is like, fighting a fight that no one wants. And if you listen, you actually get that because the strings are, the strings are super like poignant and sort of like, oh man, really? But then you get well, we have no choice. And so you raise your fists and you go to it. And that's where the heavy metal electric guitar comes in. And I find it interesting how those things sort of coalesce and indicate each separate individual moment of the sound experience, which is really nice. I mean, that track, obviously a little repetitive. I'm not crazy about it, right? Like, I mean, I think that there are other tracks that I think are more appealing from Yakuza, obviously. But again, I think it's like worth it to listen to things that, from all things, it's worth it to listen to music, even if we don't necessarily like cling to it or attach ourselves to it. But and also because it's useful because we can pick out how composers create certain musical scenarios and how they represent themselves in the game. Do I make sense? Sorry, that was like a word salad in my brain there. All right, let's see. Ooh, Anno 1800. Sunken Treasures mix. This is yet another Anno 1800 request. Can't wait for Pax Romana. This time, though, I'm sending you a compilation of 3 songs that play in one of the DLC regions in the game. They're not too long, so I thought it'd better to send you a mini compilation rather than sending a 2-minute track. The general vibes of the region is Southwest Europe and a massive sunken ship scrapyard. Love the whistling. It's so... So okay, I thought that was really quaint, really nice. I think the whistling is just such a honest. We all whistle if we can, and it's such an honest human thing to do. It's very relaxed, very like chill, almost like a bar theme. Southern European. I get like a Spanish flair to it to a degree, but it really ends up feeling more like it's you know a working song, or it's sitting at a bar, with a drink in your hand. You're like tired of shit. You know what I mean? It's cool. Okay. This feels more religious in its structure. Well, obviously because the chorus. Wow. Okay. Very, 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 very. It's just so incredibly peaceful. There was melancholy that was almost like being in a cave. This is so interesting. It's not, these pieces are not what I expected at all. Like there's like a stillness. Obviously, that was the theremin there, which is really cool because I think that represented water and exploration. And like, you know, what I found really intriguing is the fact of how still each of these tracks were. You know, there was a general sense of like space in all of them. Like there was generally this feeling of like, I was kind of surprised. I expected it to end up with this. I expected it to have a quality of like piratey, but instead it really lent itself towards like the majesty of exploration. You know, like the beauty of exploration. That's so intriguing. Anno has some really good music. I'm really curious actually about that Pax Romana. I might dabble with it myself, to be honest. Okay. Ooh, yeah. Let's do Encounter with the Seven Heroes from Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven. An arrangement of the original SNES version that keeps the slap bass but adds more to it, including a D section to a track that already demands your respect through fear. Word. Holy hell, what? Hey, DJ. Actually, I'll take the spoilers off because God forbid. I like how dominant the trumpet is there. But the flowing strings there are beautiful. I love the way that the strings lilt there. That's gorgeous. You know, I love the elegance in this piece. Like, what I think is really great about this piece is that it has this mixture of sadness and elegance and also danger. Ba, 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 ba. So it has all these things. And then on top of that, it has this just like really languid cello lower strings that make you feel like, man, like this is like a tragedy waiting to happen. I think that that's just so incredibly dope. I mean, plus you have the forward momentum with the slap bass, or well, it's actually not slap bass, but like, well, the very frenetic, fast moving bass, coupled with the trumpet, which I mentioned earlier, just really just like sticks out and really sends home the idea of danger and stress, while also being elegant, which is really, really, really cool. What a great track! I really liked that track. Let me highlight that. Okay. All right. We'll do 2 more for today, just because of things. This is Battle of Little Slugger from Super Meat Boy. So appropriate for Super Meat Boy. Hey, Zito, what's up? Oh, this is Danny Baranowski? Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Absolutely. Absolutely, Borg. I like how that, like, really the hardcore energy in that was so awesome because it carried us through the entire time, really. And I think, like, based on what I understand of Super Meat Boy in general, like, that music needs to be there in order to produce that sort of heart pumping, like, holy shit, am I going to make it this round? Am I going to make it this round? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, that was fucking awesome. I'd love to hear more Super Meat Boy because I'm really excited for the 3D version. Yeah, it was great. Okay. I actually think I'm going to stop there because my brain is fried because just of this week was kind of wild with travel and stuff. So I just can't. I want to be able to actually like say things that are meaningful, and I feel like I'm like digging and saying dumb shit. So I'm gonna push pause there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 tracks. That's easy. We have no obstacles for the rest of the month. So we will be back next Friday. And then we'll be back on the 27th. And then we will have 2 obstacles in July. We'll have Independence Day on the 4th. So I'm going to have to move our stream to the 2nd. And then I will have to move our other stream to the 15th. So there will be... Okay, July is going to be weird just because of some trips. But then August will be fine. September will be weird-ish. Yeah, we'll make it work. But the rest of this month is totally normal. So we'll finish up the last 20. We'll do 10. We'll do 12 each day. Yeah. Thanks a ton, everybody. Really appreciate you hanging out and listening to music with me, as always. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., I'll be streaming the 2.4 patch and building Cardathea at 10 o'clock EST, if that is interesting to you. Monday, we begin Stellar Blade. It'll be my second playthrough, but I'm really excited about it. I love Stellar Blade, so I've been looking forward to playing through it a second time since it was announced it was coming to PC. Also, after Stellar Blade, which will probably take me a full week, after Stellar Blade, we'll dive into Wind Waker. That will take us probably, well, I don't know how long Wind Waker is. It'll take me a bit of time. I don't plan on streaming Death Stranding 2. I may very well not even play it. I'm sure I'll buy into the hype and buy it, but I don't intend to play it on stream at all, if ever. After that, July gets a little bit heavy with games. August gets heavy with games. Mafia, the Old Country, Metal Gear Solid Delta. There's other stuff. Time, the Digimon game. I'd like to stream that very much. So there's just a lot of stuff on the docket, and then of course more videos as always. Thanks a ton, everybody, and I'll talk to all of you very soon. See you guys. Take care. Be well. Have a great rest of your weekend.